Welcome back to Off-Road Touring. In this video we're planning to go to Barrington Tops and explore that area as long as it's all open for us.
If you haven't seen the last one, we just finished up in Lithgow, then in the Wadigans, so be sure to check those out. Some epic wheeling and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, let's see if we can get up to Barrington Tops.
The way to Barrington Tops that we were going was Gloucester Tops Road, and that one's closed, but we're trying Barrington Tops Road now.
We continue making way to the Barrington Tops. If you haven't seen the previous videos, we made way from Brisbane down to Sydney, doing all the east coast, and then we did Lithgow, the Wadigans, and now we're heading to the Barrington Tops, which will pretty much finish off the big 2 weeks on the road. This current road we're heading on is such a nice drive over the mountains and in the valleys, and just keeps changing scenery. We've now come up to the Barrington Tops Forest Road, which does look like it's fully open, thankfully, so we can explore this area. We're now off that main sort of road that does run through, and we're up on the mountain now. We've just found like a dirt road that we're sort of heading down, and it's really foggy up here as well, so its visibility is quite low. This track very quickly came to a dead end, so we turned back, making way to our first lookout. We're now here up at Cobark Lookout, quite a nice little area. There's a little information board and whatnot, which is nice. And we are actually about to have some lunch. Just got some tuna sort of salad wraps and whatnot, so that's going to be yummy. But it's about almost midday because we've been traveling, because we pretty much came from between here and Wadigans essentially, and yeah, been driving all morning. But this is the lookout anyways. Unfortunately, I actually lost all drone footage from this trip, which is very annoying. And this is the lunch, absolutely looking delicious. Can't wait to dig in. We're now going up the Dilbury circuit, so we'll go check this out and see how it goes. We took a turn off Dilbury Circuit looking for any full drive tracks. We come across this one, which there's been a lot of rainfall, so there was a bit of water on the ground, making it very slippery. Well, we've come down this pretty sort of steep hill. We've kind of gotten to a point where we don't really want to go any further. We don't really know where this track actually goes, and it's very slippery and steep. And we don't really want to go too much further. We'd rather go back out to the main sort of points. And we did just try coming back up this, but it is super slippery. So just airing down the tires back down there, and then we'll have another crack at trying to get up this hill. Trying to drive up, we get to about there on the front tires, and then back tires just get slippery in these sort of sections with the rocks, and yeah, not really able to get up much further, so just gonna have to winch it. It's probably gonna be a multiple winch job. Turning the winch on and just grab some gear out. So what we've got now is got a tree trunk protector on here, and then I'm just going to drive up as far as I can and then get Grace to pull the winch up. So that's as far as I can drive, and then Grace is just running up the winch. So I've got the winch line all hooked up. It's a bit hard to see. Grace is out there over the way, so alright, let's try this. I'll get the winch all tensioned up. Slowly but surely getting up. From here we've gotten up quite a bit of the way. So what I'll do is I'll just rewind out that winch, reset the line so it's not all in one spot, and then keep going. And it's also been slightly raining a bit as well, unfortunately. Still so bloody slippery. Just trying to get up onto this flat up here and then reposition the winch entirely. Alright, so we're all unhooked now. Grace is in the car and we're just going to try and drive the rest of this. That's that little track sort of done. It does go down much further, but it gets steeper and it's just all slippery and it's raining. No bloody point at all for us to go down. So we're just gonna head back out to that sort of main sort of drag and circuit that we're on. I guess a little bit of fun winching and that sort of stuff. But Grace had a few leeches on her as well. So.
I hate leeches. I'm not helping with the next one.
Still raining quite a bit, so I'm just going to sit in the car, but you can see there's a few campfires around here and there's a creek that wraps just around, and then down there you can sort of see it. There's also like a campfire pit there as well. Such a nice little campground that this would be. Grace is just having a nap, but yeah, how nice is this area except for the rain and mud, but otherwise it's quite beautiful. So that there is the Dilgee River. So quite a nice little spot. And here we have the Manning River. So just on a wooden sort of little bridge here. There's the river goes down there. It's up out this side as well. It's quite nice out there. It's flowing quite heavy too. Yeah, it's so nice. Well, we're here pulled up on the side of the road now, and there's this track here. And it is so slippery out here. There's a few logs down over the track, so just walking up here. We found the interesting rock. I think it's I don't know what you want to think of that, but anyways, that's just out here in the forest. And if you're wondering, on the maps, this is called Tesco's Shaft, and it is just a small walk to the car. The car's just down there in the bush. So just from that, let's say rock, there's this Dilgee River camping area. So we'll just show you what it sort of looks like down here. This is actually where we stayed back in May 2021 when we came through the Barrington Tops. You can see that little creek there. It runs through and sort of around, and it's so, like, I don't know, picturesque almost. There is a part just down there as well you can drive around, but it's all muddy and just sloppy, but otherwise it's not a bad little campground. We are now at Thunderbolts Lookout, so we'll go check this out, see if we can actually see anything from the car park. It's only 200 meters, sort of just goes straight into bush with a good track. This part of the walk is actually quite nice. You come into like a sort of trees that just overhang, and here we have just fog. It's blowing in your face. Last time we were here, back in 2021, there was, you know, a nice view you could see. But today we didn't expect much with the fog, but thought we'd still walk out. I guess we'll maybe send the drone up and we'll head back to the car. We are now at Devil's Hole Campground, so we'll check this out and show you guys what it's like out here. This here is just off the main road, the Barrington Tops Forest Road. There is a bit of an information board that tells you about the camping and that sort of stuff. Just down here, there's like different sort of barbecue areas or fire pit sort of areas. There is a walk that goes through there as well.
Just on the other side of the main road, there's Devil's Hole picnic area with a park information board, lookouts, some picnic tables and cooking facilities, and toilets just over there as well. Just
here along before sort of Thunderbolts Lookout, you do have Honeysuckle picnic area with just small little facilities, and there is toilets and that sort of stuff. So there is a few options out here for like picnic areas and all that sort of stuff, and heaps of camping little spots as well. And there is a lot of sort of tracks, so we're actually going to punch out of the Barrington Tops and sort of continue north, then sort of find a camp and we'll go from there. So we'll keep heading out of this forest. This road is so bloody foggy heading through, and if you don't know this road or if you haven't been up it, it is full of potholes absolutely everywhere. From here, we made our way out of the Barrington Tops and continued making way up north. We're gonna actually punch all the way up to Dorrigo. It's another 3 hours pretty much to go, and because it's already 7:40 at night, we decided we'll stop in and grab the Colonel. We couldn't resist, so we're gonna have dinner on the road and sort of just continue driving through the night. Pull up at a rest stop, just have a quick sleep. Looking a bit rough at the moment because just woke up a bit ago, but yeah, we just pulled up to this Roses Park rest area. We got here late last night, just pulled up, set up the rooftop tent. So super nice, just being able to 2 seconds pop it up. Coffee's cooking up at the moment. Just heading out of this sort of rest area, and we are pretty much just going to punch straight up to Dorrigo. So this looks like a steep, windy sort of track up on the road. There looks like there is a heap of falls and lookouts on the way, so we'll see what we can sort of stop in and check out on the way up, and then sort of check out the little town and go from there. So this here is one of the lookouts. This is Newell Lookout. It's quite nice as you drive past. It's water coming down, and you drive over a little bridge, and just on the right you have like a nice lookout. Just look how beautiful that is out there.
So we're just on our way to Griffiths Lookout, or Griffiths Mountain Lookout at the moment. Just a slight detour on the way up to the main township at the top of the mountain. This is the lookout here. It is a nice little area, and I'm sure it's quite stunning when it's not so foggy out. There's a little seating area and stuff like that, and some information on the rock there, and an information board back behind us as well.
This is such a nice little town. There's not many stores, and it's like a tiny main sort of street as well with nice old buildings. This is such a nice little place. It's got bakery, like little cafe, deli, all that sort of cool little stuff. So quite interesting to see, and we love visiting like little towns like this and going through them and that sort of stuff.
Because we can't help ourselves, we went to Dorrigo Wood-Fired Bakery. It's a cute little bakery. It's got lots of options there, and it all looks so good. They've got a couple unique pies as well as your classics. I got a spag bowl pie. Cameron got, it's called a tradie pie. It's like a normal pie, but with a hash brown on top. I also got a nice cookie, and Cameron got a custard tart for later. So far we've had the cookie and the tradie pie, and they're both really, really good. And the lady there was absolutely lovely, so definitely worth a stop in if you're up here.
Well, we're here now, pulled up to Danger Falls, so we're going to check this out. Just from the car park is the falls. Sounds like they're absolutely pumping out. Holy, that's insane. It's quite a nice view too. From that lookout point behind us that we were just at, there is a walk. It says about 20 minutes, and it goes down to the falls. So we'll go do that and check it out. It's quite a nice area out here though.
So lovely and green, and there's some pretty birdies. Up at the falls, there's some seating area, there's some toilets, and there's like a little playground and stuff, so if you have kids.
It's a quite nice area. Very quickly you get to this sort of boardwalk section. You see the creek flowing all down there, which is quite nice. So it's an easy pathway down, which is good.
It's gotta be a pain getting up.
Oh yeah. How absolutely beautiful is it out here? Wow. You can come all the way down to the water, and I believe you can also swim down here too. Absolutely wow. If you haven't been here, this is definitely worth the walk down. So bloody nice, and it's very easy walk down too, which is good. So we have been here for a little bit, just chilling in the car and reading. So at the entry here, they do have an information sort of form. So on there is a ton of information to read. It talks about all this whole place, what they're trying to do. They are trying to open it up to public as a museum and all that sort of stuff. It's absolutely insane what it tells you about their collection. So this stuff you can see from the street is a portion of what they actually have in this collection. Over the other side is what's going to be the actual sort of museum and all that sort of stuff. And it also talks about some of the stuff that they have in their collection here, which is insane. Like, I think they said they have one of the Concentrian battle tanks that was in the Vietnam War, and they have the carrier for it, or they just have the carrier for it, I can't remember. And the reason why I talk about it so much is because this is the world's largest collection. So anyways, we're gonna move on from here, but thought I'd just let you guys know a bit about it. We left Dorrigo behind and kept pushing north, making our way to Dalmorton, along the way stopping in at some lookouts and some nice scenery. So the road that we're heading on is called Sheep Station Creek Road, and we're heading from sort of north Dorrigo up to Dalmorton sort of way. The track to around Nimboidia was closed, so we've had to come around this way. And yeah, it's all just off the blacktop. We're just driving along Che Lundy Road, which came off the Sheep Station Creek Road. And this is just now climbing up into the mountain sort of ranges. And it's all sort of raining and foggy as heck up here. And the road is quite slippery as well. So we're just taking it sort of slow through here. It's still all foggy because we are quite up high in this national park now. Yeah, the car's a bit muddy from that track. It is very, very slippery and muddy. We're now at Vista Point picnic area. So this is like a picnic area and a lookout, which is up here along this road, 20 meters off the road sort of thing. And well, you can't really see much from the lookout because it's quite foggy. We're just cruising along this sort of road. A couple of cows like normal, but there's some little baby ones there which Grace is absolutely loving. We've seen 2 rabbits now. There was one just up here that ran across. Pretty cool that, you know, they're out here and whatnot. You don't really see rabbits every day around here. I want one of the rabbits. Do you prefer rabbits or cows? Let us know. Definitely team rabbit, I reckon. No, team cow. But anyways, this is such a beautiful drive through this part of the area. We pulled up yet again. So this is Guy Fawkes lookout here. So there's the road that comes through and you just park up and it's just a little walk through the bush. And the path just comes through the bush there and then you're just out on this rock ledge and you can actually see under the fog there, which is good. You can see all the ridges and mountain ranges out there. You can see down in the valley. Just down from that last lookout, we've come down to Sundew Lookout. So the main road sort of just runs through and this isn't far down from it and this isn't far off of the main road. You just walk up here. We never actually knew about this one when we last came through because if you're coming through from sort of Dalmorton end of this area, you won't see that sign the way it's facing. It's sort of hidden. Good thing we come from this way and seen it this time. You climb up through these rocks and that sort of stuff and you can't see anything on this side. So unfortunate, but yeah, I wish we'd seen this last time we came through, but anyways, just leaving that Sundew Lookout now. You can sort of see the sign in there, but yeah, you're gonna miss that coming from the other way. On these like isolated sort of roads and when we've been doing full drives out in these remote areas and we're just alone with one vehicle, we always have or what you call a personal locating device or beacon, so known as a PLB usually, and this is all it is. It's just a green little device. You pretty much just put up the aerial and then activate it and that sends off a signal to rescue sort of team and that sort of stuff. We take this everywhere we go, when we go on hikes and stuff, chuck it in the backpack and everywhere.
Yeah, it's always good to have a backup plan just in case, especially because it's just the 2 of us traveling in one vehicle.
Yeah.
If something happens, we're kind of too far away from everyone.
You don't normally have reception as well, so this here should get a signal out usually. So it's just a safety thing to have, and I think it costs a couple hundred. You can get different versions of them, but this costs a couple hundred from like BCF or those types of stores and that sort of stuff. So we always go out with one of these, and as I mentioned, it's middle of the week. We've not seen one vehicle out in anywhere of these areas so far. So yeah, this is just a nice bit of safety kit. So after ages and ages of what felt like hours through that main road that goes through that whole forestry, we're finally out of it, and now we're along this river. It's a whole change of scenery down here. It looks a lot more overgrown than what we remember, but it was such a nice place out here and we just couldn't resist but pass back through. But you essentially just wind up against this whole creek the whole way. So we're now in Dalmorton, which is just an old historic sort of little town. Like there's a couple of buildings, a tennis court, and there's not much out here, but it is cool to see the old buildings and that sort of stuff. As you can see in front of us, there is a blockage. It says road closed and road closed ahead, and there's no access to Glen Innes. We were going to head along this road and go through the Dalmorton tunnel. Unfortunately, we'll have to head back. When we looked on the maps, it was saying this road was open and we can get through.
Yeah, so the other side was shut online.
Yeah.
And then we did drive past a sign that said the road was closed, but we thought it meant the side that was saying was closed online.
Yeah.
So it is a bit confusing.
We'll try heading out right, head over to Grafton sort of way and see if we can get through there. But as we said on the maps, that was the road that was saying closed. Otherwise, it's a very, very nice place. And if you haven't been through this road, it is such a nice drive that goes along the river and that sort of stuff. But it is going to suck that we can't really show you much of it, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll try and show you some more of these buildings. So there's some just over here, some old buildings, there's old like cattle yards by looks. On the right here, there's very old little buildings. So quite interesting to see. So this end of the drive where we're heading towards Grafton sort of way is the same as what it is if you were to head to like Glen Innes sort of way, but you just kind of weave along the creek here, and yeah, it's so nice. You're just looking at the creek the whole time down there. So we're down on the bank. We've been driving along a bit and sort of found a spot where you can camp and whatnot. Trying to drive through and just find an isolated spot and set up camp. Well, we're now pulled up where we're going to camp for the night. So there is a track that we've been following and it runs through and it continues all the way through. Just two little crossings and then the main sort of river is here. So this is quite a nice high ground sort of section. So if you can't tell, rain is coming down, unfortunately. We did just check the weather and it's supposed to be raining 100% until about 10 o'clock. Just to be safe, we'll get back sort of up to a higher main point. Rain's kind of quieted down a bit, so could get set up and yeah, hopefully the rain dies out, but I don't think it will, to be honest. We love just being able to pull up pretty much wherever the patrol can go, popping up the George 4x4 rooftop tent, popping out the awning, and then all the extras like tables, chairs, stove, and all that sort of stuff. Down the track, I do want to have a lot more of those things built in. For example, built-in water storage with sort of a tap, built-in tables, maybe on the fridge slide or on the rear doors, and other sorts of things like that as I'm sort of learning along the way. But that will be definitely down the track where I adjust all that. But anyways, if you haven't been along this Boyd River before, you definitely should do the drive along the old Glen Innes Road. You pass through Delmorton Tunnel, and also Main River sort of a reserve where there's a campground as well. You can start at either end, either the Grafton or the Glen Innes, and do the whole drive through. And there's so many points along the creek, you can pretty much just pull up at any spot. There's many grassy areas, otherwise it's primarily sort of rocky creek bed, which makes for some insane camping spots, or even like pull up for the day sort of spots. But if you have been in this area or camped along this river, let us know what your thoughts are on it and whether you like it, because this is probably one of my favourite sort of camping or river areas that we've been to so far. We moved the car and it's about after 5:30 or so. We've just been chilling out. We did have a heap of wind blowing upstream and that was just making us freezing because it's cold out here and we haven't got a fire going. Yeah, moved the car, had teas, we've been chilling out, doing some editing, all that sort of good stuff. Anyways, that's gonna bring us to an end of this video.
It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, yesterday we didn't get to do very much. It was a lot of turnbacks and stuff like that. But today we got to see some cool waterfalls and now we're camping at this beautiful river.
Spot.
So
yeah,
it was a good trip, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a good trip. And yeah, if you haven't seen the last ones down in the Watergans and Lithgow, be sure to check those out. But anyways, this is the last of it. We're gonna head home in the morning nice and early and get a nice and early sleep tonight. So we'll catch you in the next off-road touring adventure. Hope you guys enjoyed.